The Scottish Warrior just crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. What you're about to witness isn't just another promo, this is the moment where a friendship died and a war was declared. Drew McIntyre didn't just challenge Cody Rhodes tonight, he reached into the deepest, darkest corners of Cody's soul and twisted the knife. And now we're heading toward 3 stages of hell, and I promise you, by the end of this breakdown, you're going to understand why this might be the most personal, most brutal encounter we've seen in years. Before we dive into the chaos, if you're new to SLAMZONE, listen, I need you to do something for me. This channel, this family we're building here, it's all because of you. Every single one of you watching right now matters. So if you love wrestling the way I do, if you live for these moments that give you goosebumps, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash that notification bell because we break down the biggest moments in wrestling every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Share this video with your friends who need to see what real intensity looks like. And drop a comment below telling me your prediction for 3 stages of hell, because after what went down on SmackDown, anything is possible. Now let's get into this. The lights are hot. The crowd in that arena knows something special is about to happen. You can feel it in the air, that electric anticipation that only comes when real emotion is about to spill over. And then Drew McIntyre's music hits. That heavy, ominous theme that tells you the Scottish Warrior isn't here to play games. He walks out with purpose, with rage simmering just beneath the surface. The camera catches his eyes, and my friends, those aren't the eyes of someone looking for a wrestling match. Those are the eyes of a man looking for blood. Drew steps through those ropes and grabs that microphone like it's a weapon. The crowd is already buzzing because they can sense that Drew didn't come here to shake hands and wish Cody good luck. No, he came here to break Cody Rhodes down mentally before he breaks him down physically in 3 stages of hell. And as Drew begins to speak, you can hear the venom dripping from every single word. He talks about respect. He talks about how he gave everything to WWE, how he fought his way back from being released, from being told he wasn't good enough, from clawing and scratching his way through independent shows and other promotions just to get back to this moment. And for what? To watch Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, walk in and get handed opportunity after opportunity. Drew's voice is shaking, not from fear, but from years of frustration finally boiling over. This isn't scripted emotion, folks. This is real. This is a man who believes with every fiber of his being that he deserves to be where Cody is. The camera cuts to the crowd, and you can see faces in the audience torn. Some are nodding because they understand Drew's pain. Others are shaking their heads because they know Cody's story too. Cody, who left WWE to prove himself outside the machine, who built an entire movement, who came back not as a conqueror but as a man chasing his father's unfulfilled dream of becoming WWE champion. 2 men, 2 incredibly powerful stories, and they're about to collide in the most unforgiving match structure in wrestling. Drew starts pacing now, and this is where it gets dangerous. He begins talking about Cody's family, about Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. And at first, it seems like Drew might show some respect for the legend. But then his tone shifts. He questions whether Cody is really worthy of carrying that legacy. He suggests that maybe Cody's been writing on his father's name this entire time, that without the Rhodes family history, Cody would be nothing. The crowd gasps. You can hear the boos starting to rain down, but Drew doesn't care. He's locked in. He's saying what he believes needs to be said. And then Drew goes even further. He brings up Cody's emotional journey, his battles, his struggles, and he doesn't do it with sympathy. He does it with mockery. He calls Cody soft. He says that Cody's emotions make him weak, that all the tears and all the heartfelt promos won't save him when they're locked in 3 stages of hell. Drew's message is clear: sentimentality is a liability, and Cody's biggest strength is actually his greatest weakness. The tension in that arena is suffocating now. You can feel every person in that building holding their breath, waiting to see if Cody Rhodes is going to come out and respond. Because how do you respond to that? How do you come back when someone has just dissected everything you stand for and questioned the very foundation of your legacy? And then, Cody's music hits. The place erupts. The American Nightmare makes his way to the ring, and you can see it written all over his face. This isn't the smiling, charismatic Cody we sometimes see. This is a man who has been pushed to his absolute limit. He's not running to the ring, he's walking with purpose, with controlled fury. He knows that if he loses his cool completely, Drew wins the mental game before the match even starts. Cody gets in the ring, and for a moment, the 2 men just stare at each other. No words. Just 2 warriors standing across from one another, both knowing that in a matter of days, they're going to go through literal hell together. The silence is deafening. You could hear a pin drop in that arena, and that's when you know you're witnessing something truly special. Cody finally speaks. His voice is steady, but you can hear the emotion underneath. He doesn't try to deny Drew's accomplishments. He doesn't try to diminish what Drew has overcome. Instead, Cody acknowledges it. He tells Drew that he respects the journey, respects the warrior, but respect doesn't mean he's going to lie down. Cody talks about his own journey, about how he understands what it means to fight for every single opportunity because he's done it too. He left WWE when he was told he'd never be anything more than a mid-card act. He went out and became one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling. He came back and won the Royal Rumble. He main event WrestleMania and defeated Roman Reigns to become the undisputed WWE champion, finishing his story. The crowd is hanging on every single word. Cody's not yelling. He's not screaming. He's speaking from the heart, and that makes it even more powerful. He looks Drew dead in the eyes and says that 3 stages of hell isn't just about proving who the better wrestler is. It's about proving who wants it more. Who's willing to sacrifice more. Who's willing to go further into the darkness than the other man is willing to follow. Drew smirks. He tells Cody that he's already in the darkness, that he's been living there while Cody's been basking in the spotlight. He says that when they get to 3 stages of hell, when they go through a standard match, through a street fight, and finally through a steel cage, that Cody's going to realize he's never faced anyone like Drew McIntyre. Not Roman Reigns, not Seth Rollins, not anyone. Because Drew isn't just fighting for a championship or a moment. Drew is fighting because he needs to prove to himself and to the world that he belongs at the very top, and the only way to do that is to tear down the man who currently sits on the throne. The two men are nose to nose now. The referee is trying to keep them separated, but they're not fighting. Not yet. They're locked into psychological warfare, each one trying to get inside the other's head. And you can feel it, that moment where both men realize that this isn't going to be a wrestling match. This is going to be a fight for survival. This is going to be a battle of wills, and only one of them is going to walk out of 3 stages of hell the same man they were going in. The crowd is absolutely electric. Chants are breaking out, some for Cody, some for Drew. The arena is split because both men have compelling reasons to win. Both men have earned this moment. And that's what makes this so beautiful and so tragic at the same time. There's no clear villain here, there's no obvious heel. There are just 2 men who believe with everything they have that they deserve to be the face of this company. As the segment begins to wind down, Drew backs away first, but not before delivering one final message. He tells Cody to enjoy these last few days of peace because once the bell rings, once they step into that ring for stage 1, there's no mercy. There's no friendship. There's only the fight. And Drew promises, he guarantees, that Cody Rhodes will not survive all 3 stages. That by the time they reach that steel cage, Cody will be broken, battered, and begging for it to be over. Cody doesn't flinch. He simply raises his microphone one more time and says 4 words that send chills down your spine. Then let's find out. The crowd loses their minds. Drew's music hits again, and he exits the ring, but he never takes his eyes off Cody. Cody stands in the center of the ring, championship held high, but you can see in his body language that he knows what's coming. He knows that this is going to be the fight of his life. And here's where I need you to do something for me again. If you're feeling this intensity, if your heart is racing right now thinking about what 3 stages of hell is going to look like, hit that like button. Seriously, it helps this channel grow and it helps me bring you more breakdowns like this every single week. Subscribe to SLAMZONE if you haven't already because we're building something special here, a community of wrestling fans who appreciate the storytelling, the emotion, the raw passion that makes this industry incredible. Drop a comment and tell me who you think wins stage 1, because that's going to set the tone for everything that follows. Now let's talk about what this all means. 3 stages of hell is not a gimmick match. It's a test. It's designed to push wrestlers beyond their physical and mental limits. Stage 1 is typically a standard match, straight wrestling, rules enforced. This is where we see who the better technical wrestler is. Both Drew and Cody are incredibly skilled, so this could go either way. But here's the thing, whoever wins stage 1 has a massive psychological advantage going into stage 2. Stage 2 is where things get violent. Usually a street fight or no disqualification match. This is where the environment becomes a weapon. Steel chairs, tables, kendo sticks, anything goes. And this is where Drew McIntyre is absolutely dangerous. The man is a beast when the rules go out the window. He's proven time and time again that he can absorb punishment and dish it out even harder. But Cody's no stranger to hardcore wrestling either. He's been through wars, he's bled, he's sacrificed his body for this business. So stage 2 is going to be absolute chaos, and someone's going to get hurt. Not WWE hurt. Really hurt. And then there's stage 3, the steel cage. If it comes down to this, if both men have won 1 stage each, the cage door closes and there's no escape. No countouts, no disqualifications, nowhere to run. Just 2 men and their will to survive. The cage has been the scene of some of the most brutal moments in WWE history, and when you put Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes inside that structure with everything on the line, you're going to see something that people talk about for years. The storytelling here is masterful. WWE has built this perfectly. Every promo, every confrontation, every word exchanged between these 2 men has added another layer to this rivalry. It's not about who's the better talker or who has the cooler entrance. It's about two men who genuinely believe they deserve to be champion, and they're willing to destroy each other to prove it. Think about Drew's journey. He was WWE champion during the pandemic era, during a time when there were no crowds, when the energy and the validation that comes from performing in front of thousands of fans was stripped away. He never got his true moment. He never got to hear the roar of the crowd as he stood tall with the championship, and that eats at him. Every single day, that eats at him. And now, here's Cody Rhodes, getting those moments, getting those WrestleMania main events, getting the validation that Drew so desperately craves. Can you blame Drew for being angry? Can you blame him for feeling like the universe owes him something? But then there's Cody. A man who walked away from everything because he refused to be limited by someone else's vision of who he should be. He went out and proved that he could be a main event star anywhere. He came back to WWE not for revenge, not for ego, but to honor his father's memory by accomplishing what Dusty never could, winning the WWE Championship. And he did it. Against all odds, against Roman Reigns' historic reign, Cody finished his story. So when Drew questions Cody's legacy, questions whether he's worthy, you can understand why Cody takes that so personally. Because everything Cody has accomplished, he earned. Nobody handed him anything. This is what makes professional wrestling beautiful. When the stories are real, when the emotions are genuine, when two performers are so invested in what they're doing that you forget it's entertainment and you start believing it's real, that's when magic happens. And Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes in 3 Stages of Hell has all the ingredients to be pure magic. The clock is ticking. The anticipation is building. And when that bell rings, when these two warriors finally get to unleash everything they've been holding back, we're going to witness something unforgettable. So make sure you're subscribed to SLAMZONE because I'm going to break down every second of 3 Stages of Hell once it happens. I'm going to give you the analysis, the highlights, the moments that made you jump out of your seat. This is where legends are made, and both Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes are ready to cement their place in history. Hit that like button one more time, share this video with every wrestling fan you know, and join the SLAMZONE family. Comment below with your predictions, your thoughts, your emotions. Let's build this community together. Thank you for watching, thank you for being part of this journey, and I'll see you in the next breakdown. This is SLAMZONE, and we're just getting started.